Hello everyone! Welcome to the first episode of NFTs and Women. I'm Frankie, the creator of an upcoming CNFT project called the Matriarchs. Today I'm going to do a short interview with Cheli from Australia. Cheli, thanks for being on the show. Could you tell us what inspired you to get into the NFT world?
My youngest sister, Cheli, who's an artist, she's done a lot of tangible art for quite a few years. We were having a conversation some months ago and she dropped into the conversation that she was really interested in NFTs, and that's where she wanted things to go, and she wanted to really focus on that, with as much time as she could. And I said, what's NFTs? I'd never heard of it before. And I think she might have briefly explained it, but she was in a hurry, and she might have started to try to teach me about it a couple of days later, but it was really all going over my head. Nonetheless, I went and I researched it myself, and so I thought perhaps I should do something else just to get a feel for the NFT world and learn the technical aspects of it, pricing, supply, uploading, all of those things. So I thought, okay, I'll think of something else to do to experiment with. So I chose Christmas trees. So I started to create Christmas trees, and I didn't realize how many I was going to do. I thought I was only going to do a couple of dozen, but before I knew it, I was doing upwards of 100, and then it was like upwards of 200, then it was like 300. And then the Christmas tree started morphing into something else, and then they morphed into some other design. I thought, wow, I can not only create Christmas trees, I can actually create some designs here. So I was discovering myself.
Can you tell us about your project and why you chose astrology as your theme?
I listened to a Military Insider one time about a year and a half ago, and he was talking about, it sounded like a he, but it could have been a she. Vice versa, because the voice was disguised. They were talking about how the world began and all that stuff, and it sounded really interesting. And this Military Insider didn't actually say it, but I had an epiphany that the astrological system was big time to do with in the beginning of this world, or the world as we know it. So that was another reason why I wanted to do a collection with astrological messages in it. But before I could do that, people actually had to be educated even just a bit on what astrology was. So once they would find out and realize what astrology was, then they might be ready for why the astrological system is actually in place, which is what I believe ties in with what the Military Insider says. So that's why I wanted to put astrology out there, is to educate more people on what the system actually does to us, how it might help us and how it hinders us, and perhaps why. And so I've mixed it up with my code. So sometimes I'll just do code, sometimes I'll just do something astrological, and sometimes I'll mix up the code with the astrology. Okay? I've just been creative. So that's how. So astrology isn't the only thing that I'm doing, but it is something that I want to do more. I want to do more NFTs based on the actual astrology and also my code.
What are your goals and plans for your project?
Okay, my goals and plans for the future for the NFTs aren't exactly definitive, because the creative process is always sort of changing and morphing. So I've discovered that I have a lot of ideas, and I find it difficult keeping up with my ideas. So my plans and goals for the future are to do song NFTs and poem NFTs, because I'm a songwriter and I'm a poet as well.
My last question is, what are some challenges you have faced that you don't mind sharing?
The challenges with me NFTs isn't the what can I create next, because I have lots of ideas. I never run out of ideas. The ideas can sometimes be interlinked, and the ideas might be quite different, or the images might be different. So if I have a different theme of images that I'm doing, then I will probably create a separate collection for that. So the only challenge with the NFTs that I found is it's a bit time consuming uploading them, because when you create a lot, it's going to take you a while to upload them. And also you got to be careful not to upload the same thing twice. So you have to put them on a device where you can actually record, okay, I've uploaded this already, don't do that again. So it's quite easy to create NFTs. One time I did over 120 in one 24-hour period. So creating the NFTs only requires time, but the uploading of them seems to take more time. So, but I mean, that's not really a problem. It is very satisfying when you upload the NFT. So yeah, so I think I've got about 1,200 NFTs right now. I've started buying NFTs too, so it's a two-way street. And I'm sort of catching that NFT bug. I don't actually personally think that the tsunami of NFT buying has started yet. That might take a few years, but I think it's happening in increments. People are finding out about NFTs, and people are getting interested in it. So there's a lot more people that have to find out about NFTs for this industry really to kick off, I think.
Cheli, thanks for being part of NFTs and Women. I'll see you guys next time.